Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS. I've got my friend Gerrand back again. He was in a video a couple months, maybe 2 ago. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about stealing, thieves in Yu-Gi-Oh! Our experiences with it, and why it's not a good thing. And maybe like how you can prevent some theft stuff yourself, perhaps, watching your cards. You've played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before.
Yeah.
Oh, context, yeah. He, as you can maybe tell with a quick look, is you've played football a long time.
Yep.
Most people might not assume that you play Yu-Gi-Oh, but you do. Cool. Be surprised.
Yeah, just keep this butt too.
Yeah, we've had a duel video if you want to watch that. I'll link it. So, anywho though, you've had cards stolen from you, right?
Yeah.
What was that? What happened? Just explain the whole thing. What was going on? How did it happen? When did it happen?
Well, at my height of my Yu-Gi-Oh, fanness, I had about 300 cards, and I let a guy come over that I thought was my friend. So he slept over the next night. About a day later, I go to check my cards. I go do neighborhood guy, and I couldn't find my cards nowhere. And lo and behold, my buddy, or the guy I thought was my buddy, had stolen them, but never recovered the cards because he gave them away. He ended up giving it away to one of his family members, which was the raw deal. Can't recover something like that. I think what makes it hurt the most, going from somebody stealing Yu-Gi-Oh cards from as a kid opposed to them stealing as an adult. And for me, it hurt worse as a kid because
you really have to work for the cards when you're a kid.
Yeah, there was a lot of willing and dealing and experience. You had like, hey, trade me this card. You not only lost one card, you lost like 3 or 4 because you lost the card that you got from the trade. You'll never get the card that you traded for it back.
Yeah, so it was
the path of getting the cards is a whole lot different opposed to adult. You just have to go by this.
I agree. So here's I've actually had my cards stolen at least once. When I was a kid, I remember I've had some cards stolen. The first time I went to like a card shop, someone took my binder of cards, people keep the cards and these, right? All these binders full of cards, right? Someone stole this, and the thing was, I was kind of young. I was maybe 7th or 8th grade, so I wasn't attentive to stuff really. I was like, oh, everyone here is my friend, and I can just put these cards out all over the table and just be trading with a bunch of people, and somehow binder got swiped. I never found it. I was really sad. I agree with you. I think that when you're younger, it's worse because it's the
memories attached to
there's memories attached to cards, and your parents usually were getting them at that point. So I remember when I would go to the store, I would have to beg my mom to get me a pack whenever we'd go to Walmart. I'd be like, hey, can I just get 1 pack? And sometimes she'd get me one, sometimes she wouldn't, and I'd only get the 1 pack. And then maybe I'll get one next week. Maybe, there's no telling.
Mine was once a month. I want to give one day to get Yu-Gi-Oh cards or get the Dragon Ball Z movie. So I was like,
oh, that's a tough call, actually.
Yeah, it is tough. I chose Dragon Ball Z more often than not. But still, it's the memory you have attached to each card. Then it screws up your strategy. You gotta start all the way over.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not gonna get the same exact card. So I was a trap card magic card type guy. So I knew I would never get that particular collection of magic cards and trap cards again.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Because I never thought of it that way, but when you're a kid and you're getting the cards, you don't have any control over what you pull in a pack. Mm-hmm. So if you get your cards stolen, it's not oh, I can just rebuy or re-get exactly the cards I had, because you don't know if you're gonna pull those cards again the next time you open a pack. So yeah, like you said, you kind of have to restructure everything.
Come on, a new game plan,
yeah, that's just really tough. I also think it's just a little bit different too, because the cards don't have monetary value, it's just memory value.
Mm-hmm.
And so today, we're adults now. If something gets stolen, it's not good, of course, but you can always rebuy something.
Yeah, you can replace it. I'm pretty sure there's websites online. Hey, I need this particular card. You
yeah.
Need that particular card. It's a whole lot easier as an adult to rebuild your deck with the exact same cards than was a kid. You depend on somebody else to get it from you.
Yeah, that's true. So how would you react differently then if your cards were stolen now? I don't think, a cursory glance, I don't know that I would take anything from you. But, should it happen, what would you How would you? Because I've seen some pretty bad stuff happen over lost Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Actually, there have been some unpleasant things.
I don't know. I mean, because I'd definitely be upset. I would give a person an opportunity to get my cards back and then cut them off. But if they don't get my cards back or they continue to deny it, I would have to X that person completely out of my life. And and one thing I would take it to the police, honestly, with you, because one thing I do now, I document everything that I have, like serial numbers. I take a picture of everything. So I would say, hey, this is what it was. He was at this time. I'll try to do my best to
I should do that.
Persecute somebody for stealing.
Honestly, I've seen, the thing with cards now is stuff is worth so much actual monetary value. Some of these cards, like, we were opening those packs earlier, like there's a spell, it's called like Pot of Desires or something, and it's worth like $80. And there are people who have like play sets of those. Like, you have like 3 copies of that. And, if you have a binder, it's just full of these cards that are worth $10, $20, $30, $40 a piece, then like you see just all these pages in this binder, right? Like if this were to all get stolen, that could be like hundreds or thousands of dollars gone.
That's what I'm about to say. If you keep a detailed record of all your cards, you can put a monetary value. Then you can prove that person's the one that stole it. That could be a larceny charge if it's over X amount of dollars.
That is true.
You can persecute them to the full extent of law, even though it's just trading cards and all this. You can still get them to get in.
That's true. There is a monetary value attached to these, and so
if you got Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you go to different events, I definitely recommend that you document your cards.
More than anything, just watching your stuff too. Like I know Konami is sort of the brand that does the events. They've taken steps, right? Like they've had sort of more security at these events, more, they have like an armband thing where like when you come in the event with your backpack or whatever, you like put a band on it that lets you know it's yours, so if someone takes it, it still gets checked. Stuff like that is really cool. But I think really just sort of the big takeaway is watch your stuff, right? Security in any way, like, is a good thing.
And just don't trust anybody either, too. Like I said, the guy that stole from me was my friend. I knew him.
That's how it always is.
6 months, but
it's always a friend.
Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't hurt just to be skeptical, a little bit skeptical of everybody.
That is true. So, that's pretty much the video. Yeah. We're just sort of sharing our experiences with theft, and in the comments, have you had any bad experiences with like having cards stolen, or someone else's cards that have been stolen that you know? How did that work out? Like I said, I've seen fights over stolen cards.
Yeah.
And I've also just seen other kind of bad stuff happen. But yeah, have you had your card stolen ever? Leave it in the comments. We can talk about it. And what advice would you offer to people for not getting their card stolen? Again, like he said, label everything, record stuff, document things. I always say, just be smart. Don't trade with a bunch of people at once. Don't like have a bunch of people over at your house and all it's kind of like trading cards at the same time. It's so easy for stuff to go missing.
Misplaced.
Yeah, misplaced. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys liked the video. Thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you loved it.
Check out the video that I beat Paul in.
Yeah. Don't you watch the duel and see who wins. No. Yeah, but I will link that duel. We actually opened some packs. I'll link all that. So check out those videos if you want to see more of this guy. And yeah, that should be it. Closing words? Closing?
Hopefully Paul let me back since I beat him, but I doubt it.
I don't think so. I think I've had enough of you in these videos by now. So yeah, but that was cool. We'll catch you guys in the next one.